Welcome to another episode of Reseller Evolution. I'm Scott.
And I'm Carl.
How's it going, Carl?
Good. How are you?
Everything's good. Can't complain.
Good.
Just chugging along like a train.
Like a train? Right, okay. Yeah. Is that a hint? No?
Oh, I don't know. No. Just chugging along. Just
Okay.
Just taking it day by day, you know.
So did you see the news today?
I want to see what the simulation has for me in store today.
Right.
Tomorrow.
Well, don't let them know that you know that. Otherwise, you start throwing curveballs at you, man.
Oh gosh, they must know I know them because I get curveballs all the time. What were you going to say? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
So did you get the email from eBay today?
Oh, what are they doing today? They're doing something. They're taking away something.
Yeah, they're taking away our coupon.
Yeah.
If you have a store on eBay, they're taking away our coupon, our supplies coupon.
Well, here's what I'm wondering: is it just Canadians?
I have a feeling it is just Canadians. I haven't heard the Americans complaining.
Is it?
I honestly, what I think it is like they never increased it, right? It's been $35. I don't know, for like every quarter for I don't know how many years, at least 5 years.
Yeah.
I think it was just a case of like it was getting silly. Like when I would order my stuff, often like if I compare it to like free shipping with Staples, it wasn't really that much cheaper, to be honest.
No, it just had the eBay label on it.
It had the eBay label, yeah.
Yeah.
And
I like the tape. I like the tape.
Yeah, me too.
Right. I use clear tape, and then I just kind of fancy it up with putting that around the package just so they know it's an eBay package, and kind of I don't know, doing it like Amazon, I guess. You know what I mean? You're just kind of advertising the package as being
right.
from eBay.
So this is funny because this brings up something, right? So this weekend I brought some tape to the flea market and I gave it to Sales, right? And I said, "Oh, do you want this tape?" And he said, "Oh yeah, sure, fine. Like no big deal, right?" Because I have so much of it.
Yeah.
And little did I know the coupon is going to be gone, but it doesn't really matter. I don't need eBay tape. But anyways, I asked other people about using eBay tape, and they said they don't want to use it. So out of the 3 people I asked, 3 of them said they don't want to use eBay tape. Can you guess why?
Well, I mean, it could be a security thing where it's dropped off of the package, and then people know that there's something dropped off from eBay.
Yeah. So they said, Sales said, I just use it on the inside of packages because I don't want people to know that there's eBay tape and therefore something's from eBay. But all I'm thinking is like, and that was the same comment I got from a couple of other people, right?
Yeah.
And all I'm thinking is like, what about Amazon boxes? It's like, what would you rather steal, an eBay box or an Amazon box?
But honestly,
or any box? Like, do you really care that has eBay tape over it? I don't know. Like,
I personally don't. Like, I never had a problem with packages going missing. Now, I've had 2 packages that I can recall where the person complained that they didn't get it, but it was showing delivered. But the very next day, it was just delivered to the wrong mailbox.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So the guy ended up getting it because he lived in an apartment. So, he got it the next day because the guy said, "Hey, listen, I got your mail." Right. Whatever. The other person was a female, lived in an apartment as well. And she took about 3 or 4 days, but she said she ended up finding it. But she said she talked to the concierge and everything. Right. So, she goes, "It was stuffed in the back of my mailbox and I couldn't see it."
All right.
Well, bull crap. Like, you can't see a box. Like, I mean, the boxes are the size of the smallest box I ship out is the size of 2 coffee cups. And those mailboxes aren't like, how do you not see that in a mailbox?
I don't know.
Right? So I think something got a little, I don't think she was trying to scam. I think something got a little bit mixed up there. Maybe the concierge, I don't know, who knows, but it seemed a little odd, but I think she even gave me a good rating, but she did complain about it at the first couple of days. And I was like, listen, it showed delivered. There's nothing I can do, right? It shows delivered, and these are the steps I would take. And then I don't know. I think it was 4 days later she replied that she got it.
I always tell them just to contact eBay about that. I said, once the show's delivered, I can't do anything. You have to contact eBay, and I'll let eBay deal with those people. But I was just checking. I've sold over 4,000 items, and I've never had any. I've had very few go missing. Yeah. And even then, I think they showed up like the next day or so. Like, I know if it was an eBay tape was causing things to be stolen, I think it'd be much. We would notice that, right?
Yeah. So, well, I think eBay would even advise us not to use their tape.
Yeah.
Right. They would say, listen, guys, we're having an issue here. Just like make it as cognito as much as possible.
Yeah. So, anyways, I guess the bottom line is we're going to lose the tape, but most people probably don't really care that much. Like, I might even having eBay like branded boxes and stuff like that. Like, it was kind of cool, but it's not the end of the world, I guess, right?
Yeah.
But it is I
won't buy their boxes, right? But I might buy their tape.
Oh, I'll never buy their tape.
No.
Well, what I'm going to do is, like, since we're losing the coupon, right? I wouldn't have never done this for another like 6 months, but I'm going to order the tape again.
Yeah.
And then I'll have enough tape to last me for years. So.
Yeah, the tape does last a while for sure. But I'll probably order the tape for sure.
Yeah. So, anyways, this kind of sucks, but we'll live.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know why they're trying to cut corners. Like, I don't know. Is it just? What do you think the reason they're doing it?
I think it wasn't really worth it. I think like after inflation, that $35 have been eaten up, and it's not when they're doing the supplies here in Canada. I think it's another company. They probably just felt it wasn't really worth it. To be honest, right? Now, if you had a bigger store, this would suck a lot more. Like if you have the premium stores, I don't know how much their coupons are, but I just thought we have a basic store. We have the 1,000 items store or whatever that it is, like 1,000 listings, which is much higher now. It's not even a really factor.
Like, well, I think at one point it was 10,000, but I think now I got to look at it again. But I think it was like 5 million.
I don't know. I never even look. It's never been an issue.
Like I think I have up to 5 million items or $5 million worth, whatever comes first.
Well, what it might do is a lot of people might actually finally go, okay, screw it. I'm going to lower my store subscription to the lower value, right? Because there's different tiers, right? We're on or at least I'm on the first tier after the free one. So, I don't. So that would be upsetting if you're getting $100 every quarter. You could actually use that, right? Yeah. Like I found if I used the coupon, I still had to pay if it was anything but tape. So, anyway.
Yeah. So I should correct myself there because I was overspeaking. I think I'm like those are my limits is within the 5 million thing, which is never going to be obtainable. Like that's not even a thing. But I think my store gives me, I think it was like 10,000 listings.
Yeah, I'm taking a quick look just to see, but like it's so not important.
But it is the basic one, whatever it comes out to. But I think it's like it's almost one of those things that I'm not going to probably get to. I'm having a tough time getting over 700 and staying over 700, like, which is a good thing. I'm not complaining, but because that means things are selling. But every time I get into like 750, a rash of sales came through, and now I'm 690 or 670 or whatever.
Right. Yeah. No, it's I think it's also it's the amount of listings you're using every month. And I know like I use some even though I'm not listing a lot because when it renews, it uses them, right? So we're near the end of the month now. It's the 29th today, and like I still have 766 left for the month.
Okay.
So I guess I could technically, and I think a lot of categories don't even count. So like postcards where I do a lot, I think those don't even count. So, yeah.
All right. Well, that's good.
Anyways, that was exciting. Yeah. Coupons. Yeah.
Yeah. So everything is they're just crushing us.
I know, eh?
We're getting crushed no matter what we do.
This is not high on my priority list of problems. Let me put it that way.
Yeah. All right. So, anything else going on, Carl? How was the week at the booth?
It was pretty quiet. I
Quiet
think it was
again.
like $60, maybe 50.
Oh
But
man.
the big news is I've doubled my booth.
Okay.
So I did talk to the owner, and the owner's like, okay, these people next to me haven't shown up in 3 months, right?
Wow.
And you're supposed to be there every weekend,
Right.
let alone like, yeah, you'll miss one or two, right? Because of
Yeah.
vacations or whatever. You're
Sure.
supposed to be there.
Yeah.
It's been 3 months. So he said, well, I have a waiting list, but if you want it, you can have it. So I said, yeah, I'll take it because I want somewhere I can actually, because right now it's a 10 by 10, right? And I want somewhere I can sit and actually hopefully do some listing and stuff. Like right now, I'm off awkwardly by the side
Yeah.
where I have basically a folding chair, and I kind of just like sit there awkwardly, which is fine. People still go in. It's not been a problem.
Yeah.
But now I can double it. So it'll be, I guess, a 20 by 10. So 20 wide, 10 deep, right? And I'll supposedly be getting that this coming weekend.
Oh.
And
Okay.
I said to him before I left on Sunday, I said, okay, I'm going to buy tables. So I'm for sure getting that spot, right? And he said, yeah. So hopefully that all happens according to plan.
Okay.
So I can only bring so much in my car, right? So I'm gonna buy a couple of Walmart like 6x2 folding tables and put those in, bring in back some of the shelving, and it'll be a little sparse for the first week or two, and that's fine. And hopefully set up a desk. I'm also getting my new phone I ordered, which I
Okay.
should actually get tomorrow. So I'm hoping that will work actually in the
Give you some reception.
in the market. I hope. I'm not promising that for myself, but that would be kind of nice too, because then I could list, right?
Yeah.
And so if it is quiet, which is January, February, at least I can, do a bunch of listings. I might even buy myself a little light box, like one of those small ones. They're only like $20.
Sure.
And
Take
but
some
we'll
photos.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's that going on. So that's good.
That's good.
Yeah. What else is happening? Oh, I ordered a bunch of stuff off Temu.
Is that even allowed now? Or are they gonna
Yeah, you're thinking TikTok maybe?
I don't know. There's a few. Isn't Temu like a kind of like an Amazon thing, but only
Yeah.
lower valued stuff or something?
Yeah, it's totally allowed.
Yeah.
So they have an interesting thing where it's like you pay the price, it's free shipping, but all their prices include the tariffs or what duties, I should say, not
Oh,
tariffs, the
okay.
duties, right? So what you pay, like you're not going to get a surprise bill, which is a big problem when people would order off from other countries, right? They get these big duties, but it's all included. So what I ordered was a whole bunch of like little display units.
Oh,
They're
okay.
right just to put in the shelving and stuff like that. It's like, and a bunch of stuff like the other thing I got was a bunch of stuff to display for displaying coins, because the guy across from me right at the flea market, he sells
Yeah.
coins,
Yeah.
but he doesn't sell anything for displaying coins, right? And I said, oh, you ever get that? And he says no. So I'm going to ask him first, because I don't want to barge into his niche kind of thing. But I'm gonna say,
No.
do you mind? Well, I'm gonna ask because I'd rather be friendly with people, right? So it's so cheap, this stuff. So I said, well, I'm gonna ask him in the beginning, do you have any problem with me selling these display units for coins? I'm sure the answer is gonna be no, but
Yeah.
just out of respect, right?
Just say, you know what? I got a couple of coin display pieces, and just send them my way. If some of you guys want to display the coins, just send them my
Yeah.
way because I got some of these for sale. I don't know. It's up to you, but I wouldn't ask for permission. I would just kind of say, send them my way.
Yeah,
If I
true.
have any coin guys, I'll send them your way.
Well, we're right across from each other, so it's kind of hard to. It's not like he's far away or something. Anyways, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Here's what you. How expensive are they, Carl?
They're cheap.
Like
I can't
like
even.
like if you had like just one, like what would one cost you?
About $2.
So what I would say is take him two or three. Just say, listen, I have a good source for this. I'm going to be selling these coin display things. I thought maybe here, I'll give you a couple and you can display some of your coins this way. Because not only that, you're offering him friendliness, and in return, he might say, "Carl, listen, what are you asking for them? Because I'll buy 10 of them off you because I can display they look great. People will love this. Like this will really display my stuff well." So he might come over and buy like 10 from you.
Yeah, maybe we're already good friends.
Yeah.
So
Right.
that
Like that's
really
what I
worries
would
me.
do. Just I mean, it's going to cost you $4 to $6 depending on how many you're going to offer as a gift. But if you offer them 3, right?
Right.
Carl, how much are you asking for these? Like, well, I'm asking $5 a piece, but for you, I can round it down or something. We'll do $3 a piece or something. You know what I mean? If you want to buy 10,
Right.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you just say, I'm giving you a good deal here, but if you find any of your customers want coin display pieces, send them my way. You know what I mean? That's it.
Well, sending them my way is literally just like turn around 360 and or 180, and there I am. That's how
I
close
think that's
we are.
pretty smart of you, though, to be honest with you. If you're okay, listen, this guy is selling the coins, I'm going to sell the coin holders.
Yeah, well, like
Right?
that's it, right? So, I honestly, if I had coins, I would not sell coins because I don't want to get into, that sort of thing. But
Sometimes it doesn't work, though, because I remember, like, back when I was younger, we had a tire service place for car tires, and I tried to sell the air, and it didn't work. So
man,
they were
I
selling the
can.
tires, and I tried to sell the air for the tires, and it
Every
didn't work.
every time I go to the flea market, they have the worst puns, and it's the first thing they say to me is a horrible pun, and I have to hear these puns, and then I give them reviews out of 10. I don't think I went above like 3 out of 10 this last weekend, and they were so bad.
How was mine? How was that one?
Oh, that was a 2.
Dude, are you out of 10?
Yeah.
That wasn't that bad. It was kind of funny.
Uh,
I don't know. I just made it up on the spot. So you like spontaneity. The spontaneity there is
oh
a
man.
5 at least.
So
But
yeah, gonna try that. But like the growth thing there for me is good too, right? It's gonna okay, I'm gonna have to spend $70 or actually $68 a weekend now. But really, I'll just make it up in volume, right?
well, I think now things might get a little serious, dude. I wouldn't put Here's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say this, and you're gonna say, Scott, you're not making any sense. But here's what I'm gonna say. You're gonna go out to yard sales this summer, and it's gonna look completely different to you. Like you're gonna see things that you can sell out of the booth. You're going to see a whole different
Mhm.
light of things.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe not because you guys have a problem with yard sales there. Like we have so many
No,
around here. It's insane.
no, what you're saying is already true, right? Like
Yeah.
in September now, I pick up stuff all the time that I would never pick up, right? Like I would pick up lamps now. Not that I have,
Yeah.
but I would pick up lamps
If they look
because
funky and
yeah, actually I
cool.
am bringing in one. It's kind of one of those kind of. Anyways, I got it free at the auction, basically, right? And it's like I'll give it a chance at the flea market, and if it doesn't sell within like a month or two, and I need the room, I had no problem just donating it, right?
Right. Right.
Where initially I would have donated it straight away because it has there's no way I would sell that online, right? So it's already done that. The flea market's already kind of widened what I'll pick up, but I'm trying to be more careful of just buying junk. Like I don't want to buy junk to widen it because people don't want junk there either necessarily. So
Yeah.
although it's hard to figure out exactly, like I sell, these little kind of like cheap dollar store fairy things, right? Like these little figures, and I've sold quite a few of those, right? So it's at $1 a piece, and really they're not that valuable. So it's like you never know
Yeah.
what
You
people are
never
going to
know.
buy, right? So, but
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, I have my own bastard story. Remember that bastard from California? He keeps paying you and buying your stuff.
Yeah.
I had the same thing. So a while ago, I talked about this Dungeons and Dragons stuff I got, and there's
Yeah.
this board game, and I put it in my collection. It's like, oh, I'll just put a big price on that. No one's gonna pay it. I'll put it, the big price. And some bastard bought it. I can't believe it. It's like, what? I wanted that in my collection.
Oh
It was like
man.
$110 for this dungeon board game, right?
Yeah.
American, so whatever that is, Canadian now. And it's like, oh, it was in beautiful condition. It was nicely displayed, and so that went out this week. So I know it's like, it's like boo, yay, boo.
Yeah. Yeah, I've had that happen a few times as well, but I mean, you're there to sell it, buddy. You're a seller, so
I know.
you got to be happy.
It was just in my collection though. It was just kind of funny. I was
Yeah.
like, what? I thought I overpriced that. Like it took a long time to sell, but it was in great condition, so that might have pushed it eventually.
Oh, that's good. That's
So
good.
how was your week?
My week was good. I haven't been listening much. I've been very busy. Adam, any listeners here who used to follow the Sunday live show on my other channel, Adam broke his leg.
Oh,
So helped him out of there with a couple, rides and stuff. But it's tough to see your buddy out there hobbling around with crutches and a broken leg.
God.
But he
Yeah.
did up playing hockey.
What a Canadian way to break your leg.
I know. If you're going to do it, you got to do it that way for sure. So what has been going on here? So I had a private pick. There was listeners of that channel as well. They're local here, and Nick and Nicole. I don't know if they're going to really listen to this channel, although I did talk about it. But they were big watchers of the other channel, and they knew Carl and Adam and all you guys.
Right.
So anyways, so a big shout out to them. They gave me a call. They had a bunch of stuff, like they're collectors, right? So it wasn't, they knew it wasn't their high end stuff, but it was still stuff that could do well in the booth. I might even throw some of the stuff online too. So a lot of it was stuff that I'm not overly familiar with. It was very like characters of TV shows and stuff like that. So when I look at them, I'm going to say, okay, there's value here, but I wasn't at all really sure what the value is. And I'm still not. I'll have to look them up.
So the toys, are you talking about toys here?
I'm talking about toys.
Right.
They also had a bunch of pressed steel trucks, mostly Tonka, but there was some Nyland, which I do well with my Nyland. There was nothing overly old there. They had a box of older stuff, Sun Rubber, Aubin Rubber, some toy pistols, the Roy Rogers ones. But they had some condition issues all around. There was, but there's still value there. But I was just glad that they thought of me, and I was able to go out there and strike a deal. They were very reasonable, and so I think we're both going to be happy with this deal.
Yeah.
It was a little bit of a tough one because they knew their stuff, but they said we don't have a price in mind, and I'm like, okay, so to be honest with you, I really didn't understand a whole lot of what was there. I knew the pressed steel trucks, I know the toys, I know that kind of stuff, but I don't know the modern like pulp culture toys. Like if I don't know the pulp culture, it's really hard to gauge what the value of the toys are. But they were kind of running me through it. They showed me their collection, which I'm kind of rambling around here, but it's all based on this pick here. Mm-hmm. But some of the Cabbage Patch stuff, she's a big collector of Cabbage Patch.
Yeah.
And some of the Cabbage Patch stuff, I had no clue had values that they had. I might contact them again and go and run through their collection. Like they said I could videotape, but they didn't want to be on it. And I thought about doing that, but then I didn't know what I was going to say because I don't know the stuff. You know what I mean?
The thing where they're talking, but you don't see their faces, right?
Well, I might do something like that. Because there's a couple other people that I had talked about last year, talked to about running through their collection. But there was mostly older stuff, and they're very knowledgeable, and they can talk about it. But this was more of, they didn't want to be on camera and all this stuff. But anyways, we'll see what happens. If I do that, I'll run that on my other channel. So anyways, that was one pick. I did really well at the auction. Plus, I did a big bulk book buy again. I don't know if I talked about that last week.
Well, I know I get confused because you tell me things and I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's true, right? But I did a big book buy. I was very happy with that book buy. A lot of automotive, a lot of older stuff. So I don't think I did talk about this last week. Remember how we were talking about those tools?
No, I think we did talk about it. Oh, wait, yeah, I mixed up now. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, yeah,
So we
it's the
talked
tools.
about
Yeah,
the tools,
yeah.
and there was that one company. I'm going to screw this name up again, but it's Hens, or
Oh, yeah.
is it Hens or something like this? It's German, but I lost out on the tools in the auction, like I had said earlier. But there was a book about those tools from the
Yeah.
1940s.
Okay.
Might have been 1930s actually, and that book goes for about $300. So I have that book.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah, but it's based on those tools, which are very high priced. But it's an older book. I
How
think
much did you get the? How much did you get the for the? How much did you have to pay
what's that?
for the book? How much did you have to pay?
Oh, for all the books, there's over 1,000. I paid 500.
Oh, right. It was in the collection. Right. Sorry, I forgot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it was in that collection. I paid $500 for all the books.
Nice.
Um,
You never know, right? Like there could be nothing in there too. So
yeah,
it's a great.
auction itself was from the same place, and there was one of my bowls tonight. I'm going to talk about. I got a bunch of stuff out of that auction, and it was just some stuff went way high, and some stuff I just got it at an amazing price. So
Oh, nice. At
yeah,
least you didn't just get skunked because that's sucks.
no, I definitely did not get skunked. I got skunked on the one I really wanted. Yeah, but
Wow.
well,
Yeah.
there was a. I'll tell you this one. There was a metal tray. It was for a garage, and it's on wheels, and it's like a multi-level tray, and it's made of metal, probably from the 50s or earlier. So I bought that, but on top of it was some toolboxes, right? So
Right.
there could be some stuff in those metal toolboxes as well. You just never know. So I open it up and I can count them here, and there's 7 snap-on sockets,
Oh, wow.
ranging anywhere from 25 to 45, $65 per socket.
Oh, nice.
The bigger the ones seems to be the bigger ones seem to be the most valued. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 brand new packages of Laurentian pencil crayons.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's my favorite thing.
yeah. I was waiting for you to pick up on that one, and I mean, it was great. It was really good. So happy to, I would have liked it all, Carl. I would have liked every single one piece that was in that house, but where am I
Yeah.
going to put it? What am I going to do with all that money, Carl?
I know, right? There's only so much you can do.
Right? I got to share the wealth a little bit.
I did find like I was going through like speaking of auctions, I was going through my old like stuff I picked up last time from the auction, and in it was a bread board and a bread knife that said bread, literally says bread on the knife and carved. And I look it up, and it's like 19th century. It's damaged, so I'm not going to get this, but it's worth over like $150 if it was in better condition.
Wow.
You never know, right? And I was about to like just donate it.
So now it gets to that paranoid part where I just don't want to throw anything out.
I know, right?
Like,
I donated so much this week; it was great.
yeah,
It's like, including some big paintings, right? Like at the auction, I didn't even want them, and then they came along for the ride, kind of speak. And I just donated. They were garbage, so I just donated the back a big box of them. I was like, here you go, enjoy this, Value Village.
I did donate some of the books too, because some of them just don't have value at all.
No.
So I took probably 6 or 8 big boxes to donation. So take that, Value Village.
Yeah. At least you got coupons,
Carl
right?
says.
I hope you got coupons at least.
They did give me a coupon, but I just said spit on it and hand it back to them.
I know. I got some stuff in Value Village this week. I'm pretty
just
happy
kidding,
about.
Carl. I never did that.
I can't even remember what I picked up. Oh, a Brat doll. Brats.
Oh, wow.
And it might be $100 doll.
Wow.
Yeah. So I need to investigate it a little further, but it's like if it was new and packaged, it's like a $400 doll, believe it or not.
It's insane. It's insane. Like, I just don't even know what to do anymore. Like, when I was at Nick and Nicole's there, they were showing me dolls the Cabbage Patch for the most part, but it's just,
Yeah.
are you kidding me? The values on those, well, they're rare, and she's a collector, right? And then it just boggles my mind that there's these hidden gems, even when you
Mm.
think there's nothing there. These hidden gems make make you like cringe. You know what I mean? Because how many times do you pass this kind of stuff? How
Yeah.
many times have we passed tools at a yard sale, Carl?
I can't tell you. Like,
You know, and there could be ones in there worth hundreds of dollars,
yeah. Yep. Well, like
right?
I said, this bread thing I picked up, I would have thrown out. But
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
someone has the 1860s. It's from the 1860s. So
Yeah.
who knows? Who knows?
That's why we talk about bolos. No, it's actually, there's a different reason. Somebody, Tina Mack made us talk about
I
bolos.
know, Tina. Thanks, Tina.
Actually, I like the bolo segment.
I stress out about it. I have to admit.
Really? Oh no.
Yeah, because like one, I can't even remember if we've already talked about some of these things. Well, I have. I don't want to double my bolos already. But. So, is there anything else that's happened this week? I can't like it was a pretty nonchalant week, really, for me. Like, there's
Well,
stuff
I
coming
mean,
up. Like next week, we'll be busy when I'm redoing the booth. Right.
yeah.
I'm gonna have my new cell phone. I'm gonna hopefully set up a work area there. Maybe not the first weekend, but the next weekend. My buddy who I'm selling commissions for, which is working out really well, actually. By the way, he's paying my rent every month, basically. I told him he could have more spots, so on one side of the wall, right? So he's gonna bring in stuff there. Yeah.
Well, you talked about Life magazines last week. Well, I think at one point I showed you the 1930s Time magazines.
Time magazine. Yeah.
Right. So there was a gem found in there. It's got Walt Disney on the cover, 1937, December 15th. It's December, anyways. So I have it listed for $425 for one magazine. It has sold in the past for basically $400 Canadian.
Wow. Yeah.
And I was offered $200 on it, and I turned it down.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just for paper.
Just for paper. But it's 1937 paper.
Right. I should have done, my bolo should have been Time magazine. I do Life one magazine 1 week, and then next week's Time, and then next week will be like I don't know, Nintendo. I just the cheap one, like rather than just magazines, just do one series at a time.
I didn't really decline the offer. I just failed to get back to him. But I was on my phone, like I saw the offer through my phone, and I was busy. I was away from home. And I just never got back to it. And I probably should have responded, is that Canadian or American? Because if it's American, it's getting close. You know what I mean? But if it's 200 Canadian, it's half the price. I don't want to sell it for half.
Yeah. So if they're American, I'm assuming they're offering American. Like, could you see if they were American?
No.
Oh, okay. That is annoying, to be honest.
Because first of all, if they're Canadian, it's half the price. I don't want to go that low. I don't care if it sits for a bit. I really have nothing into it.
Right.
I just kind of want to see where it goes. And if it's American, I probably should have looked into it a little bit more, because that would have probably been like 260. I think we're getting close. I think 300 I would jump on it. But I'm asking 425, and I don't want to lower it to, like, I don't know. Like,
it does
am
have
I
a
happy
label
with
on
200?
it.
I got nothing in it. But am I doing a disservice by bringing the value down so much?
Scott, how much did you pay for it?
Well, that's a thing, Carl. That's a thing. But it's just, I don't know. It depends on my mood. You know, I was just in the mood. Yeah.
Yep.
No. So.
Anyway. Okay, well, we'll see how it goes. There is a label on right on the front cover, eh? So that must bring it down a bit, right?
Yeah, but I think they can take that off. Like, it's really a sticky note, but so the center of that label is not stuck. It's the edges. And they're all exactly the same spot. I almost think that maybe they were purchased at a stand or something, because it says sold dates on every single one, and it's written in pencil.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah, but it's in the exact same spot on every single one. It was almost like,
I've
I
seen
don't
where
know.
people have collected stuff and they'll label them right on there. But
Well, and the whole stack is all. If I was to line it all up, it would probably be every issue from 1937.
Wow.
Like they're all from the same year, and they
Mm.
go right from January to whenever. And there wasn't one a month. It was almost like once a week they had a magazine. So
It says
I don't
weekly
know
on it, so
what's that.
it does say weekly right on the cover.
Oh, does it? Okay,
Yeah,
I don't know. So I was right. My guess was correct.
it was. Yeah, it's good detective work there, Captain.
Inspector Clouseau. But yeah, and I don't know. It's in good shape otherwise. Like
Yeah.
the inside is really good shape. There is some, I don't know if you call it soiling or staining or whatever, but there is some like around the edges of the thing. But for the most part, like the front picture is very clear. For the most part, it's in pretty good shape. So,
Yeah. Good. That's crazy.
but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'll probably end up selling it for $100. 6
After
months.
6 months from now, yeah.
That's
You're like,
probably
oh man, why didn't I take that? Yeah.
yeah. 600 Thai dollars,
Oh,
which is probably about $5
I have
American.
no idea.
Well, I found a Thai dollar in the book.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 100 Thai dollars, which equals about $6 American or Canadian or something.
Oh
It's
well. Don't
yeah,
spend it
and you
all at
probably
once.
won't. You probably can't even cash it.
No, it's probably
Right?
obsolete. Yeah.
Yeah, the banks won't touch it. But it's neat. It's foreign currency, but um, yeah. So I don't know. That's pretty much it. I mean, it was an exciting week. Like I had those books, which was a lot to go through. I had the auction stuff, which is a lot to go through,
Mm.
and then I had that kind of pop up private pick thing that was fun and like the knowledge was good. I'm glad I was able to get some bolos out of it too, and they're going to be great items for the booth. So it was actually a very action packed week, and I didn't get a chance to list anything, but I still made some sales.
Yep.
And I think that's got to be a plus week.
Yeah, that sounds good. Like, can't complain.
Yeah, and the
I
booth
think.
did okay. The booth has been holding steady.
Yep.
Can't have no complaints there. So yeah, yeah.
I also picked up a 1930s clock, but it's pretty screwed up, to be honest. No key or anything. So
Parts and repair.
yeah, I bought it for parts and repair. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll see how it goes. Like if it was in good condition, it would have been a $250, $300 clock, I think. But in its condition, it's probably more like a $40, $50 clock. But if I'm lucky, we'll see. I couldn't leave behind though, like when I saw the comps, but it is really screwed up. So the front bit's coming off, but it still has its hands and the internals are there, and it has its pendulum. And it's a mantle clock, so it's not huge. But like I said, there's no key. So, and the ring around the front window there, like where the glass is come off. It's a loose. They've taped it on, and the case itself has scratches and stuff. So it was $13. So I was like,
Oh,
gotta take a chance.
yeah. And you'll probably do okay with parts and repair.
I think so. I
Is
haven't
it
really
like a Seth
investigated it too much.
Thomas or
It does have a name on it. I can't remember right now.
so that might help too. I have a Seth Thomas clock that I'm going to sell for parts. I think it's a Seth Thomas. It's called a banjo clock, but I'm pretty sure it's a Seth Thomas. If they made those clocks, have you ever heard of the banjo clock?
No.
No. So some of the parts can go for good money. There's an eagle on the top, like a what do you call those things? A finial.
Right.
So I think that goes for about $30-$40.
Okay.
So that alone gets my money back. I think I paid
Yeah.
10 or 5. I think I paid 5 for it at an auction. Nobody wanted it, but it's because it didn't work.
Yeah, this one's had a rough life too.
But the hands do have some value, and the glass cover can have some value. So
That's what I figured too. So,
yeah,
and I'll research it and learn something too, right? So,
yep.
I'll buy something. Sometimes I'll buy things to research. I also bought some jewelry that was for $4. That was sterling.
Oh, there you
Uh,
go.
it's so ugly, but
Oh. Yeah.
yep.
So there it is. There it is.
A January week.
Yeah, and it's January. I shouldn't be this busy. I should be like napping.
Right. Yeah,
Right.
that's what we
So,
normally be doing right now. Napping.
oof. So I'll be listening next week, and then I got a big auction to go to at the end of the month,
Mm-hmm.
and then another big auction on the end of March, which is quite a ways away. So I gotta sell. I gotta list it all to get rid of it all to start it all
Right.
over again.
Man.
Spring is around the corner. Those yard sales gonna be there. So
Yep. I hope I start listing soon. I rearranged my basement. I was inspired to rearrange things, so I'm hopefully
wow.
that's going to give me a bit of energy.
Yeah, you had two choices. You could either list or
Oh,
rearrange stuff.
it was rearranged exactly. Use that energy to do something else completely worthless. I'm in.
Uh Carl, we all think alike.
Yeah.
The reseller brain is wired the same, you know?
Avoidance of work. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like I don't know, if the cops have figured out that murderers' brains are all the same, then they're gonna be an easy target. Like we figured out resellers' brains are wired the same. So we just know how they work. You know what I mean? It's that
Yeah.
modus operandi type thing, or what do you call it? Yeah, your MO. You have
Yep.
the same MO,
I know.
right? So anyway, you can just tell what they're going to do next, or what they're going to say before they say it.
We're all the same.
We're all see. I knew you were going to say that, Carl.
Okay, so anything
Okay,
else you want to add, or should we go
bad
to the
joke
next?
after bad joke.
I know, I'm just ignoring it.
All right.
Is
So
there
what do we
anything you want
say?
to anything you want to add before we go to the next segment?
No, that's it. Everything's. I can't complain. I did. Oh wait, did anything happen with any sales or anything? Anything interesting? I don't know. I think all the sales were good. I got a. You know what? I got a positive feedback because I canceled someone's order that didn't want to order it, and they give me a positive feedback.
Oh wow, that's a nice switch
Yeah,
on that.
that
Normally
was
it's the
just before the
opposite.
show, just before here.
Oh nice.
I'm looking it over. Yeah. So what happened is a person bought something by mistake,
Yeah,
asked to cancel it. I
yeah,
canceled it, and they
yeah.
give me positive feedback.
Oh man, I didn't
I
get
ordered something by mistake, and he canceled the order as I requested. No problems. 5
oh
star.
wow. I wish I had to cancel one this week because the same reason they said, oh, they bought by mistake. I didn't even see the reasoning. I was just like, whatever.
Yeah.
They canceled it and it's like, oh,
I
didn't get
think
positive
I'm
feedback.
gonna have somebody buy multiple items, cancel them, give
Oh
me positive
yeah.
feedback. Give me. I'm
Oh
at
wow,
99.6. That'll get me right to 100.
you found a loophole, man.
Out of loophole.
Nice.
Any AI news that we can talk about? Like, I'm still waiting for that box where you can put the item in the box and it just does the whole listing, photos, everything.
Well, the AI, like this Chinese company came out and dumped the stock market. That was great.
Yeah, wow. It's just going to be battle back and forth. This is peanuts compared to what's going to happen 5 years from now.
Oh man.
We're going to have Terminators running around. They got
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Like they brought out the stuff, then they did a lot with a very little amount of money. But with all this stuff, I kind of like there's probably more details that we don't know. So,
well, here's the thing, dude. A year ago, I just heard like artificial intelligence is going to come into our lives very quickly. A year ago, nothing before that. You might have heard. You're a computer guy. You might have heard something before then, but I didn't really pay attention to it. There's still a lot of people there that doesn't even know that AI is even really a thing. And already now we're talking about the battle for AI supremacy. You know what I mean? And like it is
right,
going, it's one of those things that is it's creeping up on us so fast that when it actually happens,
right.
like we're not going to be prepared. Like,
Yeah, I'm wondering if there's going to be like a last minute niggle, and like there's going to be a part where it's really hard to improve it. Like there's a lot of technologies that are
well, they
like
come out
that
with
where
the
you can get like you can get 90% of the way there, 95% of the way there, but that last 5% is a huge hurdle. And I'm wondering if it's going to be the same thing for AI. It's like
well,
that for self-driving cars, right? Where they've gone like 90% of the way there, 95%, but that last 5% is really hard. And it will
well,
take longer to do that last 5% than it did to do the 95%, you
well,
know?
I think that last 5% probably has a lot of restrictions due to the infrastructure, right? Like if you were to go out and build a whole new city, they could probably set it up so that it's very
Yeah.
convenient for that.
But I was using that as an example, really, like where you can solve a lot of the problems very quickly, but the last ones are just so complicated that we might not even have the ability to solve those problems,
Well,
right?
they come out with that quantum computer chip or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. But I don't even think it's that. I think it's the coding. So, but
But here's the thing. AI is going to be able to do that quicker than humans.
well, we'll see.
I'm this is a paranoia. I'm trying to keep you awake at night, Carl.
Right. I know it. I think I will. We might live in interesting times. How about
Like
that?
I watched one guy say, and I'll leave it at this because I don't want to go
Right.
into AI too much. I was kind of just joking, but we open a can of worms. We got to go down the
You
rabbit hole.
opened the can of worms. I was trying to close it.
But one guy says there's a respectable channel that I watch quite often, and he brings on very good guests. And this one guy says, like, the question was to him, like, is AI something we need to be concerned about? And it was something I'm going to probably get this a little bit skewed, like not verbatim, but we'll say basically, he said, like, some people are comparing it to the nuclear bomb. And he goes, let me put it this way. You can make a nuclear bomb, but that nuclear bomb cannot make more better nuclear bombs. But you create AI, it will be able to make better and quicker. It'll make better AI. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it's one of those things that'll just
There is one theory. So it's called the Great Silence. Have you
okay.
heard of this? The
No,
Great Silence.
no,
So there's a bit of a mystery. How come we haven't detected other aliens communications yet,
because they
and
don't
throughout
exist.
the university, throughout the universe, right?
Because they don't exist.
Well, we don't hear we can't detect it, at least, right?
Oh,
It's called
so
the
I
Great
think I know what you're
Silence,
going to say. Yes. Okay.
right? So they're
Yeah.
like, why? How come like the universe is so old and there's so many planets and so many stars? How come we haven't detected anything,
Is
right?
this the ant theory?
No.
Okay.
So one theory is that what happens is that the civilization gets to the point where just it discovers AI, and then AI takes over and destroys the civilization. And civilizations can't stop themselves from developing AI. And that's why there's the Great Silence.
Uh,
So that's terrifying, isn't it?
yeah, that's pretty terrifying.
But
Uh,
you know,
the other theory I thought you were going to go with is the ant theory. Like if you yelled and instructed an ant to do something and told it and
right.
talked to it and everything else, it's not going to know what you're saying. So could the
That's
aliens be
possible.
trying to talk to us, but we just are ants to them? Like we
We
don't
don't
know
even
what.
recognize it. Yeah, we don't
Yeah,
even there's activity out there, but we don't even recognize it as alien technology. Yeah,
right.
that's
So
another
that's what I
possibility.
thought. That's what I thought you were going with that one.
Yeah, there's lots of ideas behind it,
Yeah.
but it's not gonna. The problem is it's not gonna stop anyone. They're gonna. I just hope. Well, the problem is all you got to do is got one guy who's like develops it at some point and then releases it into the environment. That would be terrifying. But well,
Well, I
what
think
if?
I,
What ifs? You know. But we
I
should stick
think
to reselling because that's what I'm here for.
yeah, yeah. No, I think I'll just finish my point. You can come back with a point if you want, but I'm just going to say, I think it's like everything else. Everybody has fear of the unknown, so
Mm-hmm.
they want to be the first one to have, like, they want to be in charge of it over the other
Mm-hmm.
guy, and they don't trust each other not to do it. So now the only option is to be the first one to have the best.
Right.
So it's kind of like a race to the bottom. You know what I mean? Like you race to the top, which will inevitably get you to the bottom, I guess. But
Yeah.
does that make sense? But
Yeah. This is so different, though. Like you said, this is not a nuclear bomb where it requires a human. This
No,
requires us having AI that doesn't want to, just cares, right? Anyways, yes, we'll see. I'm not going to worry about that stuff because
no, I'm not
until it
worried about it.
happens, there's no point.
Yeah, because Terminator Part 2, he come back as a good guy, so I'm not worried at all.
Right.
You didn't see that?
I saw it. I saw it.
But all right. So anyway, now that we got everybody's attention or non-attention,
Right.
what's our next segment here, Carl?
It's Bolo of the week.
Bolo of the week.
Yeah.
Oh, do you have a bolo?
Yeah, mine's kind of lame.
Okay.
So mine has an asterisk next to it of a warning as well. Okay.
Okay.
Right. So my bolo of the week, and I have sold these a few times, is the Whirlpool refrigerator water filters.
Oh, okay.
And obviously I'm talking about them new, and you will find them at thrift stores and garage sales sometimes.
Can I just interject? I thought those were like what do you call it? Vero.
Veroed, but that's my asterisk.
Oh, okay.
Right. So I'm now Veroed, and I can't sell them anymore, right? But and to each their own, you do this at your own risk, right? It's the same with printer ink. I can't sell printer ink anymore for inkjets. But for a long time, I made a lot of money off inkjet and made a lot of money off Whirlpool filters. But they give you a warning. The problem is when people ignore the warnings, I always hear the same thing. Oh, someone else is selling it. And they ignore the warnings from eBay and then they sell it again. Then they get their account banned. That's why I'm saying you have to be really careful with this. But I have sold them on Facebook Marketplace for $40 or $50. And you will see them out there. They're good money. So like sometimes they come in double packets. You can get 80 to 100 for them, which is really good. But now I don't pick them up unless I feel like doing Facebook Marketplace for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
And if you, like you said, they're Veroed on eBay. But you know, like a lot of filters, not even Whirlpool ones, but other filters are often worth, like, obviously you're only going to buy this stuff if it's new, right? It's often worth just doing a check to see if there's comps for them, because a lot of that stuff people don't feel like going to paying retail prices, and if it's sealed, it's still good, right?
Yeah, I'll have to talk to Jamie, Thrift on Fire, and because maybe something on, like, I don't know, Poshmark, it's more than just clothing now. Macari, I think he sells on other platforms. I wonder if he can sell them on other platforms.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either. I'll talk to him about it.
So now it's frustrating because I see them and I just walk by them.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to risk my account over that. But
how much do you walk by them at? Like, I'm assuming you're finding them at thrift stores? Or?
Yeah, once every 6 months, maybe 5 months.
So what do they kind of price them at?
Usually $7.99, $6.99.
And what do they sell for online?
40 to 50 each.
So could you?
They're easy, right?
Could you sell to somebody for, like, if you bought them for $7 and you, like, I don't know, you accumulated 10 and you, I don't know, maybe 5 at a time or something. But if you sold them on Facebook for, 15 or $20 each.
Well, Facebook actually got good money for them.
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't discount them. So I might, like, I don't like dealing with Facebook Marketplace, but not everyone's like that, right?
Yeah.
So maybe just skip eBay completely if you're willing to do Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah. Well, Tina Mac had the answer for that one. Porch pickup.
Yeah.
There it is.
Exactly. So what's your bolo of the week?
Well, my bolo of the week was, like, it was kind of always in the back of my mind, but after this auction, the same auction where I got the books was not part of the auction. It was part of the estate sale, but the auction stuff was old car parts. And I'm not talking about like you need to get down to the nitty gritty car parts. I'm talking about stuff that, like, can also be used as decor pieces, as, like, there's multiple purposes for it. I sold a 1966-67 Charger grill that I picked up for, I think it was $26 or something at an auction, and I sold it for close to $400, between I think $350 or $399. let's say between $350 and $400 with a crack in the grill.
Mm.
And if it didn't have that crack, I would have listed it for $900. So in this particular auction for $44, I got a horn from the 19. Do you want me to grab it, Carl, so you can take a look at it and maybe help me describe it a little bit?
Sure.
So I know on the older model cars, you can get the ones where they have the brass kind of like a ram's horn type. It had the curls around and it has a ball on it. You just kind of squeeze up ball of air and it makes a noise. Well, here's one here, 1920s. This one's 1920s. Now this one here, it's black. It just kind of looks like a piece of metal.
Rotated a bit. The other end.
So that's the hole where the horn comes out.
Right. So this just looks like a black cylinder.
But it does have some sort of like a motorized contraption on the end. It's end heavy. So that's very light, but this one's heavier.
You would never guess this is a horn.
Really?
Or I wouldn't guess it was a horn.
Oh, no. I knew this was a horn for sure. But right in, I just see some writing on it. I'll have to read that. But right in there is where you would hook it up, positive, negative on those bolts, right?
Okay.
This one sells for $125.
Oh, wow. Obviously, you're selling it untested.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I just noticed this here, so I'll be able to kind of...
Boxing. Yeah.
Right? So, just the brand name has its badge, which is good. But this beauty here...
So it's another... That one's a little more obvious that it's a horn, yeah.
Yes, it's very big, wide. They have it screwed to a board. I'm going to unscrew it from the board because that would have been where it would have been mounted. Now, this is going to be loud, Carl. So it might be a little too loud, but it's got a button that you push. It's like a... I don't know. I might wake Steph up. She's having a nap, so I'm not going to push it. But anyway. But it's like... You know what I mean? Right. It's like that.
Well, you're not BSing. I'm checking solds, and there's like a lot of solds over $200 for exactly.
Dude, when have I ever BS'd you? What are you even talking about?
I trust but verify, man.
So, is that American?
No, it's Canadian.
Okay. So, but look for it with this lever, because you just put what you do is you would just put pressure on that.
Right.
It winds up. It is so friggin' loud. So loud.
Right.
So I'm gonna probably put about $300 is probably what I'm gonna list at. $299.
$299. Okay. That's
right?
Cool.
Yeah. And then, but these are old car parts. They're just like you're gonna see them every now and then. So
there's quite a few solds actually. It's not like it's like there's 3 solds for $200, right? There's lots of comps.
Yeah. What are you checking up on me? What are you doing?
Well, yeah, I gotta keep you on your toes after you like started grilling me that one time.
Oh, yeah. So I guess where am I going with the car parts? Old horns, old decorative, like we talked about in the past, like plate toppers and stuff. But you can have emblems from the front of the cars. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can have license plates alone sometimes can get you good money, especially the lower ones. But the front end grills, sometimes the hubcaps can be actually worth some really good money. But I don't want to say car parts like in the random sense that like carburetors and all that kind of stuff. They have their own values and there's a lot of testing and stuff. But I'm like, look at them as decorative. Like,
well, there's little hood ornaments,
the old hood ornaments. It could be a grill. Like I was so happy with that grill, but I already said hubcaps, but a steering wheel. Okay, you want to hear a steering wheel? I got a steering wheel. Check out this one, Carl. I don't know if it's 40s or 50s, but let's say checking banjo steering wheel. And I've got one of those too. I think I paid like $40 for it as well. Okay. Banjo steering wheel. and the leather around it has dried and tightened, but you'll see them where they're all crackled and everything anyways. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
That's
there's
just,
some insanely high values here. Yeah.
yeah. Like, what are you finding? Between $400 and $600?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I paid like $40 for it.
Yeah, it really depends on the one, but there's like a lot. Yeah, they're around 200 to 2,000. Like it really depends on.
Yeah, the
Even the
one I
ones,
have
there's
is
even one
probably,
here without anything on it.
yeah, the
Still
one I have is
180.
probably about $400 to $600. I'll probably start at 600, but I'm going to be happy with 400. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Crazy. I would have no idea.
Yeah. It can be center caps. It can be just look at it as a decorative for like a man's den or a car collector,
Yeah. I can see
right?
that.
So it can have that aspect, but it's also practical. It could be used by someone who wants to refurbish a car.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
I think it'd be cool on the wall. Like if you have like a bunch of hot rod memorabilia or
yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, for sure. But even the banjo steering wheel, you put a whole new leather binding around it, like for the grip. Like that's going to look really cool on an older car, right? Like, so you can definitely do that kind of stuff. So I don't want to like umbrella all car parts, but if you
Right.
look at them as a decorative, as something easily displayed on a shelf or on a wall, I think that's going to help you as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's cool.
So
I sometimes see like the they'll see like GMC and stuff like that. You know, the metal kind of like nameplates. Sometimes those will come up at auction.
dude, I've seen people buy like the tailgate of an old pickup truck that says Chevrolet or
All right.
Ford, right?
Yeah.
And they'll just, that's a decorative piece. They can either
Mm.
hang it on their wall, or I don't know, they'll use it, they'll put it in their wall, or make a table. Like there's all sorts of things they might do with that kind of stuff, right? So, and they're usually very shippable, very small, like anywhere from the side. Like these horns, I would say lengthwise are about the length of a shoe,
Right.
like a men's, like I'm size 11 shoe, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So they're not in crazy shipping things.
No.
Even that Charger grill was not crazy shipping. It was kind of thin. It was a little bit long. Like, I mean, probably looking at about 3 feet long.
Right.
But dude, how much money would I got if I had the end pieces? So this grill is actually 3 pieces. It's 2 on the ends that cover the headlights. They
Right.
close down, and then there's the center grill. All I had was the center grill, but I think you're looking probably $1,200 if you had all 3
Wow.
pieces. Yeah, it's insane.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So
Cool. That's different.
yeah, gas caps. I lost out on that one because it just went higher than I felt comfortable with because I couldn't see them all, but it looked like a big pile. And gas cap is easy to ship, and it'll have like a name on it and stuff. Like some of them can go do well too. So just keep that in mind. That's all. That's kind of my bolo of the week.
Awesome.
Yep. So I got to get those listed and sold, and you know.
Yeah. I'm just like, I'm distracted by like right now the booth and like getting it all set up. It's like I had to buy all the stuff. I got to bring it in. I got to clean it up. That's what's in my mind a lot right now. So.
Well, I'll tell you right now, if you were to put these things in your booth, these horns and car parts,
yeah, they go quick, I think.
And I think you could probably get very close to the same value that you would put on eBay.
There's a lot of those guys there who like this kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
In fact, we had a long discussion about hot rods just this last Sunday. So
that's another thing. Carl is maybe in your booth you want to put like some license plate. I would try to get 40s, 40s and older.
Yeah, because I do see those come up at auction, but I know nothing about them, so I just ignore them.
Like once you get into 30s and the 20s, they start getting some like pretty decent values. You can even do 70s and 60s, but you're getting like $5 to $10 a plate. You know what I mean? Now, listen, if you get something, I had I think it said owl nut on a plate, and there was 2 of them, and I think I got like close to $200 for those. It said I got them at a private pick. It said
Wow.
owl nut because there's a
Okay.
lot of people who love owls, right?
Yeah. It's like
So
owls and mushrooms, like we were talking about before. Yeah.
yeah, so this person was a collector of owls. Like a lot of stuff in the house was owls, and it said owl nut. So that
Okay.
was yeah. So if you
That's
get
cool.
something like that, personalized plate. Those are pretty cool too. So but you're in the booth thing, so if you can grab a bunch of license plates, I would say take a chance on it and put them
Yeah,
in
to
your
kind
booth.
of learn too, right? Like, well, the other thing I was doing this week is this was really annoying. So it's like I got a bunch of pennants from auction a while ago, and I was valuing them yesterday. And the thing with eBay is if you're not careful, it eliminates categories when you're searching, right?
Yeah,
It'll narrow it down. And I did another search and it was still narrowed down to these like small categories. It's like, how come I can't find these common stuff? I'd spent like half an hour. I was like, can't find. And then I just realized, oh my God, it's screening out most of eBay. So that's kind of a warning to people. And I already knew this, but I didn't realize it, that when you're doing searches, make sure it's searching the whole thing. But mostly I didn't find they have value, but it was kind of the same values that you're talking about the license plates.
yeah,
Really, the values for pennants are the stuff in the 30s, 40s, 50s.
yeah.
Once it gets 60s, 70s, 80s, often there's very little value. Like I didn't
Well,
find any home runs in the pennants I found.
and I found that the older pennants could have been like towns and stuff like that, where the newer pennants are more. Everything I see there is all about sports.
Well, these pennants I have are all towns actually, and they have no
Okay,
value.
even the newer ones.
Well, the older, newer one. What do you mean newer
That's
one?
what I mean. The older pennants are usually about towns, and the newer pennants all around sport. Like I don't see pennants from the '70s that represent a small town or something or a town at
Mm.
all. They always represent a sport, like
Oh, really? Yeah,
football or baseball or.
it's kind of hard for me to tell the time period of these things. I think maybe 50s, probably 60s.
Are they like felt?
Yeah, felt.
Okay, so
Yeah.
they're probably 40s. Maybe
Mhm.
50s, but I'm thinking probably more than the 40s, 30s.
Anyways,
Just
I'm only going to get like $5 to $8 each. Like they're not that good. So
how much are you paying for?
I can't
20 of
remember
them?
I don't know what I paid. Like a
You
dollar.
probably paid $10 for 20 of them or something.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, not a lot.
So those are
No.
perfect for the booth. However, some of the times, if you get really neat small towns, you can get 25 to $35 on eBay. I've sold them for that.
It was really hard to value these things, to be
Yeah,
honest,
there's
because
that out
often
there.
there is no comps
Yeah,
and there's variations, right?
and
So
they might sit a while, but
yeah,
who cares?
people look. Yeah,
It's easy to list.
yeah. Why not listing them online and putting them in the booth?
All right.
They're not valuable enough to list online. But when I did have pennants in the booth before, like modern small ones, people flip through them all the time. And then they bought a few, but I brought them home because they just weren't moving. So
Does any of them have a beaver on it?
I think one does, yeah.
Put that online and put about $35 on it.
Oh yeah?
Yeah,
Okay, I'll do that one.
do that one. How big is it? Is it like?
They're all pretty big.
Yeah, okay. If it's a medium to big, yeah, then put that on there. And
Okay.
when you sell them, you're just going to roll it up and then sit them in a small box.
Yeah, exactly. I
Right.
actually watched a video of someone shipping the other day. It just came up by chance, but yeah.
Yeah, you just roll them up and I wouldn't roll them up too tight, but I mean you don't
No,
need to. You can put them in a
it was
small
fairly
box.
loose, yeah.
Yeah.
Because they do crack. I threw one out. It was all ripped up and half of it was missing and stuff.
Just if it's missing its tassels, like there should be 2 tassels at the top, 2 at the bottom. If it's missing those, just disclose that. Even if it's
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. You just want to tell them that.
Yeah, these weren't great. Like they're like full of pinpricks,
Yeah,
some
that's fine.
discoloration, stuff like that. But I'll throw it in the booth and get my money back. And
Throw the beaver one online. Let me know.
except for the beaver one. Yeah,
The beaver is the
I'll have
beaver.
to go and look for it. Yeah.
The beaver probably says Canada though. It probably doesn't say a town. It probably says unless it
I
says
can't remember,
beaver.
but there definitely was a beaver. Now that your show's over, it was I had it for the show actually. Now I remember. Like, oh, this will be good for the show. But
Well, funny you say that, Carl, because I had a vendor. Him and his wife bought me a magazine for the show. It had a beaver on it. However, in that book find, or
Yeah.
sorry, the book buy that I did.
Yeah. Yeah.
I also found a beaver book.
Chiseltooth the beaver. Aw.
But I can't show this stuff
I
anymore because we
know.
don't have the live show.
Oh, but a bunch of people told me they can't stop looking for beaver stuff now. Even Amy was looking for that stuff. It's like,
Uh,
oh no.
I don't
So
know. I really like this show. Even when I went to this private pick, they were talking about it too. But it was just one of those things that's really hard to do
every Sunday, screw that. Yeah,
every Sunday. It's
I
so
know.
it just got so tough, and we've been doing it for like 4 years, dude. Right?
Yep.
So
It was a good run.
it was a good
A
run.
lot of shows have stopped. Like a lot of the shows I used to watch have stopped. So you're not the
Yeah,
only one.
yeah. All right. So there's our bolos, Carl.
Yep.
Now, what time is it now?
It's time for comments of the
Time
week.
for comments. And are we going to start on the, as usual, on the Spotify comments?
Yep.
Okay, so I'll go first with the Spotify comments. And first, we got Tina Mack here. I won't comment on any pronunciations this week. I think they're sort of Sayage.
Sales.
See? I know. I have Eastlink. I didn't catch the name of the show I'd like to watch. The name of the show is called The Past and the Curious. We are season 7. I saw an advertisement come up on YouTube. Yeah, sorry, it wasn't a YouTube advertisement. It was somebody who had advertised with Eastlink channel, and they advertised it themselves on their Eastlink YouTube channel, I guess. But it wasn't like a YouTube advertisement per se. Anyways, The Past of the Curious. We are season 7. And are you guys trying to buy more local and Canadian items with all the political shenanigans going on? I like the word shenanigans. With not
So
really. I haven't really adjusted anything. Like,
yeah, I haven't adjusted anything. The only thing I'm a little worried about is February the 1st when supposedly tariffs are coming.
well,
That's in a few days, and I don't know if that's going to affect us as resellers or not. I don't know.
so I have a theory about it. I won't get into it, but let's just say there is a chance that it does happen. I don't. I think eBay would probably like break it down for the person, but the price is should have all that included. So I guess what I'm saying is it's going to be more of a psychological thing, and I don't know if that's going to make a difference. I think people are going to see our listings with the price, and it's going to be game on as usual. So what would we have to do to fix that? We'd probably have to take a percentage out of our price. But seeing how you try to make your profit on the buy and you get stuff cheap, like I'm still going to be making profit. It's going to hurt a little bit on the profit margin.
I don't want to give out 25%.
But I don't think it's going to hurt too much on the sales if I price it properly. I don't want to give it up either, Carl, but I mean, I'm just saying, like, so there's going to be a lot of things that could happen. First of all, there's going to be less competition in Canada because everybody's just going to drop out like flies.
True, but we're such a small percentage of the seller market.
Right. I don't know what that means. Like,
all the Americans and Canadians who sell online,
yeah,
Americans are probably like 90%.
No. Okay, but I'm saying as far as like my price, it's what it's going to do is I'm just going to have to drop my prices, right? So instead of making so much on that grill, which I'm already making, I don't know. Let's say this horn, for instance, I probably have, when you break it all down that I got in that lot, I probably have $10 in that horn. I'm going to sell it for $250. Right? So now I'll have to sell it for $200 and just to be competitive.
Even less. Yeah.
right? So I've only got $10 into it. So who cares if I have to sell it for 150?
Well, I care.
No, I, I totally care. But I'm just saying the profit margin will still be there. I'm just going to have to be more cautious on what I'm paying for stuff.
Yeah. I think the other danger though is
Are we just talking eBay
how
danger, or are we talking about
eBay, the
okay,
problem danger
eBay
is
danger?
that I'm not sure if eBay is going to be able to collect the tariffs on behalf of the customers in the United States. I don't know because right now, if you're in the United States and you ship here to Canada, right?
Yeah,
They have two programs. One of them does deal with the import duties, right? And it's not just like when they ship it to like Canada, if they ship it directly, then we take a chance on if we're going to get hit by the tariffs, right? Or but if they use those companies that reships it in the United States, it's just not the cost of our duties that's getting added. It's also the cost of the brokerage fees that they charge.
say this again. So if we're
So
using
if you order from the United States, right, as a
right,
Canadian,
yeah,
we have to pay duties on stuff, right?
only over a certain amount.
Well, it's over $20. It's $20. So
I
if
thought it was 800.
no, that's if the Americans are buying from us. This is what they're
Yeah,
complaining about, by the way. The other
it,
direction is $20.
yeah. I don't care. I'm talking about if they buy from us because
Yeah, but
I'm selling to
yeah,
them. I'm not buying from them.
I know, I understand. I'm
Okay,
just saying this is what the same situation is right now. It's more complicated. So listen to what I'm saying.
okay.
If we're as Canadians are buying from the Americans, right? We have duties on anything above $20.
Right.
So if they sell something for like I don't know $100, right? And they use USPS, it crosses the border, and then CBSA charges us a fee, right? The duties. Sometimes they don't, and we're lucky, but they're supposed to charge us the duties, right?
Okay.
And that can be significant because you're paying taxes and duties on that $100 item, right?
Sure. Yeah.
But the other thing that happens in the United States is if they use a reshipper, right? They have a special address in the United States where if you sell on eBay, you can just send it there, right? And they
Okay.
ship it across the border. And
Okay.
then it's not just the duties, it's brokerage fees as well. Like if you ever gotten anything from like UPS, not USPS from the United States, it's not even just the duties, it's also brokerage fees. So you get double dinged for a huge amount, right? Which is why a lot of Canadians are nervous about ordering from the United States. So now, if they put on these tariffs, right, and it's going the
Okay.
other way from Canada to the United States, it won't be just that 25%. They might have to charge 25% that goes towards for taxes, right? For the duty taxes in the United States. But there could be brokerage fees to deal with that for the customer as well. So it could be more than 25%. It could be 25% plus a flat fee. So it could be
Yeah.
really complicated. And here's my fear is that a lot of Americans are going to say, screw it. I'm not buying from anything from Canada.
Yeah. I don't. I think if that was a concern, we would already be facing that concern because we are dealing with taxes and stuff. So when they buy it from California, they collect taxes based on that on the California thing.
Yeah, but sales tax is very different than duties.
Right, but
And it's an unknown.
it's an unknown for
Right.
sure. Like I was just thinking if there's going to be an extra expense there, but
It's not
here's
like
the
just
other
flat
here.
25%. Like it's not like a sales tax. They are like you just said, they already add the sales tax when it's
Yeah,
like, I don't know, if you order from California, from Canada, they
yeah.
have to pay sales tax, a California sales tax, right?
But here's another thing
It's
of
not
the
the same
unknown
thing
that
as
I
that.
here's another thing of the unknown that I was thinking too is at least in my position, I would say 99% of what I sell is used.
I don't know if that matters because he said 25% tax on everything. So I
So
don't know.
I'm thinking it might be like and when I say thinking, it's loosely because I don't know, but
I don't know either.
maybe it's
right?
a hope or whatever. But I'm just
Yeah.
wondering, could used items be exempted from this?
Well, you know what's going to happen is everyone, if that was true, everyone would just write used on their items.
Well, you can't because you've listed it on eBay, so it's going to be on the slip.
I don't think it's going to say. I don't. Yeah, but CBSA version of in the United States doesn't give a crap. If I bought used stuff before from the United States, and I've had to pay duties, like you have to pay duties. They don't care if it's used or new. So I'm not saying I know. I'm just saying this is a big unknown that's happening in a few days, if it happens at all.
So what happens? Like, okay, so the U.S. right now they're talking about putting tariffs on Canada, but if we ship to other countries, do they already have to deal with tariffs on our stuff?
And they complain about it. So if you ever
no. Okay, but do they? So yes. So so right off the bat, it's already taken care of.
Well, not really.
There's no broker. There's no broker or anything that deals with it. It's just we don't deal with it.
No, that's not true. Like if I order from the United States and I order that $100 item.
No. I'm selling. I'm not a buyer. I'm a seller.
Yeah, but I'm just using this. Okay, pretend we're in UK then.
No. I'm so okay because I have a response based on the answer to this.
Okay, ask the question again.
Okay, so if I sold something to Japan, do they get tariffs put on their items that I sold them?
They have to pay duties. Yes.
Okay. So my thing is here's what I'm saying. I don't see any difference. I don't see any difference in that sale than what I sell to the US or Canada. I still list it on eBay and it's taken care of.
Yes.
So I think as far as that's concerned, as long as it's under a certain amount, we don't have to worry. It's still going to be available to those people in the US.
Oh, I agree. It's available.
Okay. So what now I have to do is figure out how to make it enticing so that by the time they get it, it's not really it's not going to be more expensive than their competition.
So here's my counter argument, okay?
No, I get your argument. You're going to say that they're just going to say, screw it. It's going to hurt our amount of sales because people are just going to say, I'm not going to deal with this.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's not just a cost thing, it's a pain in the butt thing. And it's a surprise thing often too, which is why a lot of Canadians don't like ordering from the United States.
Right. Well,
have you ever had that happen? Have you ever ordered something and then you get you bought it for $50 and you think, oh, I'm great. And then they give you a bill for $30?
I don't really buy that much, so I can't say that.
I have, and a lot of Canadians have, and it's stung them.
But how could you order something and not know that duty is going to be there?
Like, you just don't know. You had no idea.
They don't tell you.
It's a lesson we all learn. Yeah. And sometimes stuff gets through without a duty too, which makes it even more confusing.
But okay, so just because I don't know, Carl. I don't know. So I'm asking you, right? Because I don't know. I've never dealt with this. So who charges you that duty?
CBSA.
How do they collect that?
They send you a bill before you can get your thing.
And then you got to go pick it up?
Sometimes they'll come to your house and they say, give us money, literally, before they hand it over.
And who's they?
The delivery company. So Canada Post or UPS or FedEx or whoever.
So they accept the package before payment of that?
They accept the package.
And then they can return it if they don't get paid.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the question I'm asking. I don't know.
Yeah, you're lucky you never experienced it. It sucks because it's always a lot of money because it's not just like 10%, 15%. There's also a flat fee as well, and that flat fee can be like $30. So
I really don't order much at all on.
See, this is like the thing is like we haven't had to worry about this because there's something called the de minimis, and we talked about that last podcast, but it's totally one-sided, to be honest, right? But the bottom line is I don't know either what's going to happen the first because he said everything, but then we'll see what actually happens, right?
Right. And I also heard a date of April 1st, I think, too.
That'd be better, but I don't know. We're going to find out soon, though.
Yeah, a couple days away.
Yeah. It could really be bad. It could be really bad for Canada.
Well, if it's bad, and let's just say it does go that direction, I think we're going to have bigger problems to contend with than than eBay. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's going to be bad for our economy.
Yeah.
But also, the fact is 90% of my sales go to the United States. Imagine if that got cut in half tomorrow.
No, I'm talking about the entire country.
That's also bad.
That's what I'm talking about. There's going to be bigger problems than just selling on eBay, dude.
Well, yes. But keeping it to eBay, right? You could see a big drop in your sales because a lot of Americans they'll be like, why should I buy from this Canadian? Deal with all this duties, deal with the brokerage fees when I can buy from an American. Right.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to see how it pans out because I mean, there's a lot of ifs in this conversation, because we don't even know if it would be charged on everything. Is it, is it?
That's the scary part. Yeah.
We just don't know what is going to be included in all that. Right. So, and we don't even know if it's going to really happen. So,
well, that train's coming down the track. We'll find out soon if it just keeps going by.
Yeah. But I have no animosity whatsoever against Americans at all. Like, I mean,
no, of course not. I don't
want to get this show political or anything, but
I didn't think we were. Like, it's not a political. Well, it's a political thing, but it's not. It's nothing. The American. I have a problem with Americans. It's their border. Yeah. They can do what they want.
Yeah.
It's their country, right? Right. And to be honest, it is one way because we have $20 here, and they have $800 American dollars the other direction. It is completely one-sided. So, we're so small they didn't worry about it, but now they were, Anyways, we'll find out. So, what was the comment? I can't even remember what the comment was.
Oh, are we doing comments?
We're doing comments.
And Tina Mack got us into this rabbit hole.
She said she's the one that's talking about pronouncing words for a long time, but then we got caught in the tariff.
Wow. All these shenanigans. I'm not going to buy more local or Canadian. I'm just going to continue on doing what I'm doing.
I'm not worrying about that. It's too and everything is made in China, anyways.
What's that?
Everything's made in China, anyways.
Yeah. Well, Adam's going to get us into the rabbit hole too.
No. Okay.
I just see the first four words and one says political. So
okay.
Not to get political.
Thank you, Tina. By the way.
Thanks, Tina. But with Trump in office now, is the tariffs he put on the place going to affect your selling on eBay? Well, we kind of answer both questions here. The big answer there for me, anyways, Carl, is I don't know. I don't know if it's going to affect.
We just talked about it, so yes, nothing's changed. Same.
No, but I don't know.
We don't know.
That's my answer to Adam. Is I don't know.
I don't know how they handle the de minimis when it comes to tariffs. Like what I'm really hoping. It's such a complicated. It's just. I know it's nerdy, but it's fascinating. All the effects that this could happen, because it also affects a lot of American importers. Because they're doing this sneaky little thing where you could import your goods into Canada, right? Then import them, immediately export them into the United States, and you could get around a whole bunch of duties and tariffs. This might affect that as well, but we won't even go into that because it's nothing to do with us.
Like, okay, so I you know what, Carl? I apologize because I was listening to that last half of that because I was trying to look for the next comment, but. So you're saying other countries send it into Canada and then they ship it to the U.S. with a Canada logo? Because I know they're doing
not
that.
The Canadian logo, no.
They're they're saying it's from Canada.
No, they're not. It's not. There's nothing illegal about this. So actually, Mexico is another example. It's an easier example because ours has more nuances.
Okay.
But what you do is you're in China. If you send something directly to the United States, you already have to pay tariffs. They already have tariffs, right?
Right.
But what you can do is you can send it to Mexico, right?
Yeah.
Where they have a rule that if you export it, like if something comes into Mexico and you export it right away, you don't have to worry about any tariffs coming into Mexico, right? But Mexico and the United States has a free trade agreement. So if you're in China, you send the goods to Mexico, and then
Right.
you immediately send the goods. You say it's for export, which is true. Goes immediately into the United States without any duties up to $800 American. So
Well, yeah.
there's the same thing here in Canada, except it's a little more complicated. I won't go into, but that's the reason there's a weird loophole, and this could affect all that. Anyways,
Well, I mean, it's $800, so it's not like a shipment of steel or anything like
you
that,
split it up. No, well that's it. You can't
right?
split up steel,
So
but a lot of things they'll split up the bundles into $800 bundles and send them off. And sometimes they said you can even send more. Like it's supposed to be $800 a day, but they don't always catch that. So
yeah. Well,
yeah,
we'll see. We'll see.
we'll find out soon.
Yeah, we'll find out in a couple of days. Don't sleep. We'll be up all night.
When this comes out on Friday, it's immediately going to be out of date.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Holy Christ! No, the first is
Was
Saturday.
it Saturday? Okay, fine.
Yeah,
It'll be relevant for one day.
it'll be relevant for one day. So don't sleep tonight. There.
Yeah, everyone listen to the podcast on Friday.
But yeah, no, it's we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Um,
I just feel sorry for people like dealing with the first Canada Post strike, and now this is like double whammy.
yeah, but it's not going to hurt just eBay people. It's going to hurt the whole.
That's my point.
Yeah,
That's
the
my
whole
point.
country.
Okay, so that was Adams, right? Like he was asking.
Yeah, so
basically
that
the same
was
thing.
Tina McAdam. That was Spotify.
Perfect. Thanks, guys. We appreciate the comments on Spotify. So for YouTube, first one from Doing It Wrong. Carl, I've had good luck selling vintage pantyhose. The larger ones sell great. I've never sold a pair to a woman, though. It's always men who buy them. Not sure what that says. Don't care. As long as they pay me, they can do whatever they want with them. Exactly. That's how I feel. The pantyhose I picked up are actually kind of these weird Chinese knockoff, not even knockoff, just Chinese brand. So they're not vintage, but I have heard about that. Tidy whities too. If you ever see vintage tidy whities, I hear those are good as well. So
for me, right?
I've heard it from numerous sources, believe it or not.
Yeah, I bought a whole bunch of them, and they sold so quickly. The briefs,
I've heard it from at least 3 or 4 sources that tidy
yeah,
whities are good. Yeah,
yeah.
vintage tidy whities.
They all went to California.
Yeah,
and I bought. They were all new in the package. They're from the 70s.
Yeah.
And there was boxers and the tidy whities, the briefs, and the boxer or the tidy whities sold very quickly. And then I think I might even have a couple boxers, but they just kind of trickled out. But it was the briefs that wow, I couldn't believe how quickly they were going.
And for good money too, not like $10, like 30.
No. I paid $5, I think, for all of them, which was approximately, if you count the briefs and everything, I'm going to say 30 pairs.
Yeah.
So split them in half, and yeah, I was getting, dude. Okay. So I'm going to digress a little bit here, but it was crazy. It was like in the 30s and $40, and then the response I was given. Have you ever bought women's underwear? Because you buy them nowadays, that's cheap.
Right.
I don't know, man. I didn't buy women's underwear.
I don't pay attention to these things. I get them from Santa usually.
I bought these ones that I'm wearing right now in 1975, and they were cheap.
Okay, next one for Doing It
I'm
Wrong.
not kidding anybody thinks I'm really still wearing those same ones because I was only 5 then. Anyway, I don't know. Anyway, what do you got going on here, Carl?
I'll do the next one, Doing It Wrong, since you did 2 from Spotify. If you haven't looked it up, embroidery machines that stitch patterns automatically. Many of them connect to a computer, and you can either create your own, download them, or buy pattern CDs. I've only sold pattern CDs so far, but if you see a machine made by Bernia for $40 or less, it better be bought. The cheapest new Bernia machine I can find is about $1,500.
Wow, that's American too.
I haven't noticed those machines. Like, they're so huge, it's hard to not see them, but they could be in an area of the store and not really looking. So I guess that's my bolo for the week, tying into Carl's from 2 weeks ago.
Well, like he didn't complain. He didn't mention anything about it.
No,
Maybe he expected it. Like I did. Like I said before, if I sold it to another country, I don't see what they got hit with. He didn't complain about it, so he didn't mention it. I didn't see any extra charges,
no, you wouldn't.
right? So he didn't. Did he know about it already? I don't know. I don't know. Did he buy them because he's a businessman? He gets that money back in write-offs, and he doesn't care. I don't know the situation. Well, I don't know who's next, but do you see Don's next?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't Dawn miss the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, she did say she left a comment and never showed up. So she actually copy and pasted this one to me just in case it got lost. But ironically, it didn't get lost this time.
Okay.
So,
All right. So she did right. So Amy Byrne.
yeah, that was Amy burned me with like saying like she didn't. I don't have to worry about the sound my phone makes when I have a sale because I hardly any sales anymore.
Oh,
Yeah,
your
she
wife,
burned
Amy.
me.
Amy.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. I am clinging to my Samsung Note 9 as long as I possibly can. Got it in the fall of 2018 and it's still going. I only recently had to replace the battery a few months ago. Did we talk about phones?
Yeah, remember I'm buying a new. I got. I getting
Oh,
a
you
new
got
phone.
okay, yeah.
Supposedly it's
And
coming tomorrow. So,
okay. There is some screen burn in,
oh
but
wow, I
it's
didn't even know that was
minor.
possible.
Yeah, it's only minor once. Sorry, and I only notice it when I'm looking at a white screen. So yay. I go for the newest shiny tech. Usually that's because I use it for so many years. I can rather I kind of the same thing. And I'm kind of a dinosaur as far as change in anything goes. Myself. What about you, Carl? Are you always buying the new gadget?
No, it was an S10 though. It was starting to die. The Nest, I'm getting a Samsung S25 Plus, which is also a larger screen, which I must admit I kind of need a bit now.
Yeah. The only problem is my flip phone here that I use, it doesn't take great pictures. So when I take the pictures off my other computer and then flip it up, it's hard to see.
Uh-huh. Actually, I remember we had to convince you to get a smartphone like 4 years ago or something, and
He
you
did not.
literally,
You don't even
yeah, I
know.
swear, man, you're
Oh,
you're using a thermal printer at least, right?
yes, of
Yeah,
course.
you never know. There's a lot of people still not using thermals.
Dude, I've been using iPhone for a long time.
Okay,
Before I was even picking. I was
okay.
doing the PI thing. I
Oh,
listened.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. It was someone else. Like I'm not the type to go and grab the new phone too. This was a case of my old phone dying, and I'm hoping I can get reception in the booth. So it was like a double, but really it was starting to die. So it's such a powerful tool too that I need something that works well. Also, I can of course write it off because it's legitimate for business, or at least most of it. So
Remember we teased you because you ran around naked all covered in butter and you were like
oh
saying
yeah,
I'm
totally remember that. What the hell are you talking about?
huh? No,
Was this a dream of yours? What's
no,
going
no,
on?
no. This is true. Oh, wait. Sorry, Carl. Maybe it was some other guy. That's exactly what you said to me about the phone. So I'm just
God, okay, that was horrible. Keep going, keep going.
I'm just like you you throw me under the bus. Oh wait, that was some other guy. Oh man.
I'm hungry. Let's go.
Uh, you're much more funnier in the morning, Carl.
Oh man, it's burning me. We're recording this at night, and I like it's 7:30. I haven't had my supper yet. So
Is it 7:30 already? Holy shit.
yeah.
Okay, so that said, the Samsung $25 Ultra doesn't seem to be much different from the 24. Oh, the S24. Oh, okay. Samsung S25, I think is the $25 there. Let
Yeah,
me
there's not much
rephrase it.
difference. No.
That said, the new Samsung S25 Ultra doesn't seem to be much different. Probably a bigger screen or something like that. Is that the difference, maybe?
No,
So
they're
if
pretty
you're,
well the same. But I'm
yeah.
coming from an S10, so it doesn't even. And the price between the S24 and S25 Ultra it was like $30.
Oh,
Like it's not like a huge discount.
so if you're an Android user, that might save you a few $100 anyway. If you're an iPhone user, well, I just sit over here and continue to laugh. What? I'm an iPhone guy. Carl, I think there are a lot of people out there who struggle with making deals from sellers' standpoint. Scott is right about the way we think about the stuff as we sell. A lot of us have assumed so much inventory after we have had something so long, we get sick of looking at it and are willing to take a much lower amount just to get rid of out of our lives and put the smaller amount into a different stuff that might sell faster. For you, I thought of leaving the additional money on the table might be painful because those big flips are a large portion of why you are reselling. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't see anything wrong there. Do
Nope.
you? I agree with that. You get a different feeling from buying something for 25 cents and selling it for $7 and selling it for $3. Maybe you're okay with the slow dime, where a lot of others are happier with a fast nickel. It's two different approaches, and it doesn't mean you're necessarily wrong. I agree there. I don't think you're wrong. It's just that said, dude, $3 a piece and be happy with it.
Right.
You're still making a significant profit on that too. Like you had what, 50 or something, right? Like,
Yeah.
right?
I think I
You were
had
looking at $150 where you had 20 invested. So
yeah. I think in that case, it was just like it was my mood at the time. But
yeah,
sometimes I'll let things go. Like I had a money bank, and I let it go for 20, and then that's basically what I paid for it because it wasn't that good, and it wasn't old, and it was missing the stopper. And it's like I had 30 on it, and they offered me 20, and I just sure, because I just wanted it gone because I think it was going to sit around if I hadn't taken it. So I am willing to let things go. The difference with the Smurfs is I know I can sell them. And I have been selling them. So, but I'm not saying I wouldn't take that $3 deal now. I'm just saying, you know,
you wish you would come back, is what you're saying.
well, not really. I don't care because for me, the hardest thing is actually sourcing good stuff. I can source lots of crap, but good stuff is rarer than the capital I need. That's the difference. I have all the capital. If a good deal comes up, no problem. I'll have the money. So like getting the money out of something else, so I have money to spend on something else, that is not my problem. My problem is finding good stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
cheap enough that it makes sense.
Scott, the spoof email thing sounds so sketchy. It was.
That was really sketchy. Yeah.
We already know what I do with Life magazines.
Little devil head, yeah.
Except for the fast buck part. Ads are slow as molasses to sell, but I do book plates. I do book plates as well.
Yeah.
Interesting, because I have a book here. It is the Lost World thing. Oh my god, I can't even think of it now. Anyway, but it has some. It's an 1800s book, and it has book plates. Now I'm thinking about selling those separately. I have to look into it, but I dropped the book and the spine split, so I don't know if I should sell the whole book or the plates.
Now it makes more sense for the plates, maybe, but
yeah, but the book is a really good one. It's oh my god, I can't remember it right now. It might come back to me. Believe it or not, I have sold a couple of intact Life magazines, but the vast majority of them are not worth more than about 15 US each. Yeah,
I agree with that.
Yeah, I am still working through all the National really that I got for free in September or whatever. I've actually started trying to narrow down the ads I actually list on their own, but we'll see if that works any better. Wait, my comment disappeared again.
No, it's good this time.
It's good this time. I'm saving this one to work. All right. Well, thanks, Don. Any comments in there? Like, does she want National Geographic books? Or she just got a bunch. She's trying to see what happens.
Yeah. Well, I mentioned I have a whole bunch. I got like a bin. I want my bin back, so I'm gonna go through them and probably donate them all. I think the one with the face with the eyes is there, but it's like with the girl with the eyes.
Yeah.
I don't even think it's that valuable. I think it's still
like
20 or 30
bucks.
$10. So the next one, doing it wrong again. There are several of the scrapper and locker auction YouTube folks that also do cleanouts. Most of the ones I've seen generally connect with the state groups and charge a fee. The two that come in mind are Happy Heart Treasures and Dumpster Marcus.
Dumpster Marcus.
I'm sure there are plenty of others. There's one in Ottawa. I used to watch his stuff, but I haven't seen his stuff in a long time. Where
Dumpster Carl.
he gets scrap, like he had donate scrap here, and he used to go pick it up with his truck.
Yeah,
and beat up truck, just like you'd picture with that black kind of hitch thing to it,
Yeah,
and he could go get fridges and but his big thing was heaters, furnaces. He would take the parts off the furnaces and then sell the motors and stuff like that.
Yep.
I assume he's still around. I don't know. I haven't seen him put a video out in a long time, but
dude, those guys look all beat up and stuff, but a lot of those times, I think those guys make good money, man.
Yeah, well, it's a lot of work because he's out there stripping things, and it's I would never touch it with 1,000 years. It's
Go work at Toyota for 10 hours a day.
No, thank you. Days. No, thank you.
You'll be praying for those jobs.
Yeah.
What do we got here, Randy?
Yep.
Hey guys, Carl. I love the D&D buy too. Scott, old manuals are right up my alley. I got lots of them, Randy. So many. I always look forward to Carl's weekly therapy session.
Oh, man.
Don't worry, Carl. We all had to overcome a mindset the first interacting with buyers. When I started the flea market, one of my veterans told me to stop looking so glum and get off my chair. I have a box of 20, 30 piano rolls if anyone is interested.
So just a second there, stop looking so glum and get off my chair. So I don't have a problem with that. I'm trying to find the right balance, like I said, between my friend came over when I was selling actually that money bank,
Yeah.
And he was selling hard to the people looking at it. And I said, I kept saying, leave them alone, in a nice way. Cause it's oh, should we get you a bag to put it in? Or ready to spend? And it's just leave them alone. It's but it turned out he knew them, but they were still trying to ignore him and do their own thing. I'm not a hard sell guy. And I didn't like that.
Yeah.
My friend was trying to do me a favor, but I was just no, I'm not. But I will talk to customers, but it's hard balance between they want to be left alone and they don't know who is the owner of the booth, because often I have to leave because there's not enough room, and they're who do I pay? That's the one good thing about getting the bigger booth too, is I can have a spot where it's much more obvious, you come here to pay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bigger booth might actually do better just because it's bigger. It's going to give you a different variety of stuff, right? It's hard to say, but
yeah.
I always found the bigger the booth, the better.
Yeah.
I have a box of 20, 30 piano rolls if anyone is interested. Are you what's that?
Yeah. We were talking about the piano rolls last time. That's funny. Yeah.
Are you telling me the Hockey Night in Canada announcers back in the 1970s were mispronouncing Sergey? Is Serge?
Serge.
No. But I'm wondering what name he's saying how did they pronounce it?
Don't know. The name sounded more like Sarge back then.
Serge.
Who knows? Maybe people have different ways of pronouncing it.
Yeah. The name sounded more... Oh, okay. There he goes. The name sounded more like Sarge. Okay. Back then. Sorry, Scott. I cannot watch your show on Eastlink as I live in the woods. Oh, with just internet. Okay. No problem, Randy. But it is on there. Season 7. A few years ago, I hooked 4 clothes hangers to a battery charger and tried putting that on the roof. Might have worked if I hadn't shocked myself. Off the ladder.
Wow.
Anyways, always enjoy the podcast, Randy. Well, thanks Randy.
Stay safe.
Yeah. Don't fall off your ladder, buddy. But Hockey Night in Canada. That used to be good. I used to enjoy that. Don't really pay attention to it now.
So the next one, doing it wrong. I don't know where you all are at specifically. I know Canada Land is a big place, but there are a few Canadian scrapper YouTube channels you might be able to contact if you find a scrappertunity again. Uberism81. That actually might be the guy I'm thinking of. Thumbprint and Canadian Treasure Hunter are the ones I'm familiar with. I'm sure there are probably more. as you know, about some scrapper folks in your local area. As you may know. Okay. They're not hard to find. Just look for the beat up pickup truck with a mountain of drunk. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like sometimes just the copper and the brass, because that you don't need as much to actually do well. So you can kind of hoard that and take it once a year. I do scrap metal runs every once in a while if I get enough, but it's not something I want to keep putting in my truck. And eventually, like I just don't want to ding my truck up or anything. But
Yeah, exactly.
But what happened is I've kind of slowed down doing it because there was one time it had rained and it was kind of muddy and stuff, and I couldn't see the puddles and stuff like that. I couldn't see what I was running over, and I was so afraid of poking out my tire.
Yeah.
So I kind of slowed down just for that reason too. But I think if I had a lot of copper and brass, I would scrap it. There's good money for that for sure. And is it my turn next with Carver Man? Is that the next one? That's what I see.
Yeah.
Carver Man. When sourcing, I try to make my money on the buy. Yes, I agree with that one for sure. Sometimes I sacrifice a bit of profit if I know I can flip it fast. I agree. This is exactly what I do too. Better a quick nickel than a slow dime sometimes.
Yep, that makes sense, Sash.
Yep. I mean, it kind of sounds simple, but if you stay within that barrier, that keeps me out of trouble. So
yeah, no, that's good.
Is that all? That's all I see right now.
Yeah,
right?
That's all I see too.
Yep. So thanks, Sayaj.
Thank you, Sash.
So there you go.
Yes,
You know how to
that's
say
awesome.
it.
Well, thank you everyone for the comments.
Yes, favorite parts, comments.
Yep.
Carl, it looks like you're ready to go get something to eat.
So hungry. Yeah, it's cold down here too. Feels like the furnace is not on. I'm starting to freeze.
Oh, geez.
It's my life in the basement. Wah. So, any plans for the coming week?
Do I have plans? Well, Steph's going to Florida next week, so my plan is to list like crazy, mainly because I want to catch up for what I missed this week.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of my plan. There's no real auctions that I want to like. There's a couple, but there's nothing super interesting in the next one for sure. But I got a couple weeks away for that, so that's kind of where I am, just listing. Take a few things to the booth. But.
I'm in the same boat, really. I might go thrifting this week, but I was going to go tomorrow, but my phone's showing up, and I want to be here for it. Yeah, I had to go to Walmart, get some of those folding tables for cheap or Canadian Tire, and see how much I can fit in the car for that trip on Sunday, and hopefully list. Oh, I got a bunch of like D&D WizKids kind of stuff.
Okay.
So I'm gonna see which ones make sense just to throw in the booth and which one makes sense to actually throw in the online, because some of them are pretty big. Like the big ones can be worth the time, and the little ones you just like put a big pile out and ask a few dollars for. So I'm gonna want to do that for this weekend. So
I want to give you another job to do.
And goodbye, everyone. Thanks for listening.
I want you to give me that number. I'm going to call her, and then you're going to have to go there and pick it.
Right. Well, I know that's stupid.
What? It's a matter of perspective. I would jump all over it.
You're going to make me so I don't tell you things like throw them back at me all the time.
Keep it to myself. Back on you. I want you to go and do it. I'm pushing you. You push me all the time.
I do. I must admit, I do that. Yes.
Yes.
Oh man. Yeah. No, it's smart.
You push me to list and all this stuff, and you call me out and everything. Blah 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 blah. So
that's okay when I do it.
Out on this, and I'm going to say, go give her a call. Right. And next week, you're going to say, you know what? That was the best pick I've ever been on.
Right. Okay. Well, we'll be the best pick if it's the only pick I've ever done. So
there you go. So I'm not wrong. You can fact check that one, eh, Carl?
Right. What can I say?
All right. Oh my God. I haven't been recording this whole show. We got to do it
Yeah,
again.
can you imagine? I can see the little recorder there. Thankfully, we've never lost a show yet. That's pretty lucky.
Yeah, pretty
Knock on wood.
lucky. All right. Thanks everyone for coming out. I guess that's it, Carl.
Yes, thank you so much. Another good week. And hopefully next week's good too.
All right. Everyone have a good week. Carl, have a good week. And we'll see you next week. YouTube or Spotify, audio only. We'll see you next week, everyone.
Bye, everyone.